Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
Good seeing you this morning. Thank you for your continued interest here with the Cooperators meeting. My name is Don Howard. I'm the other liaison for the team. Ben Fisk has been running this prior. He left this morning to go and marry his son off to a lovely young lady, and their family is very, very excited about it. We're very excited for Ben and his family, so all the best to them. For those of you that have not been here before, we have a sign-up sheet that's over here. If on your way out, you can sign up, and we'll put you on an email list, okay, and make sure that you have some information passed on to you. First thing I'd like to do just real quickly here is have the team members that are here go ahead and introduce themselves to you so you know who's who from the incident management team.
I'm Dave Gesser, Operations Training. Wyatt Zellmore, I'm the Incident Commander Training.
Good morning, I'm Roy Hall, I'm the Deputy Incident Commander.
Good morning, I'm Bill Allison, I'm Security Manager.
Good morning, Will Burner, Security Manager.
I don't know why the security guys are always close to the back door. I don't understand that. Where I live is in Flagstaff. I live on the eastern slopes of the San Francisco Peaks. 4 years ago, there was a Schultz fire that was there that burned off the entire eastern slopes. I know that you folks know that. I just wanted to address a little bit of that this morning to you as to how that impacted us during the fire and then the ongoing floods that have taken place afterward. During the fire, there was a lot of miscommunication that was passed on, some misunderstandings that folks got tied in with. Obviously, people are a little bit distraught, upset, concerned, and not always getting at the clear message of what truly is taking place. So I would just ask that you talk with those folks that are really in the know. Okay, you can look at Facebook pages that, as you and I both know, folks can put anything they want on those pages and say just about anything that they want, whether it's accurate or not, many times inaccurate. So I just ask that you tie in with your public information officers and those folks at DOC and those folks that are running the shelters as well, so you clearly understand what's going on. Okay. You have in front of you, we've been talking about a fire, but in front of you, you have some other things that you're going to have to be dealing with. And the closer you can come together and collaborate and cooperate, the better off you're going to be. It took us a little while to get there on the Schultz fire, but we got there and we moved forward really well. So if there's any way that I can help with that, please let me know, okay? So first of all here, we would like to get Dave Gesser to come on up and just give you an update on the status of the fire.
Good morning. So this morning, fire 70% contained. No growth on acreage. We're still at 14,712 acres. If you'll notice the map, it's kind of restructured in our divisions. That's because we downsized on the divisions because of the progress they've been making out there. So we've incorporated, like we had Alpha Zulu here. Now we've just turned it down to Alpha. We had Charlie Foxtrot, now it's just Foxtrot. And then we had Victor Tango, and we just gone to Tango. And that's setting things up for the Type 3 team that's coming in. So we have some folks out there shadowing with the divisions that are out there now so that they're familiar with the ground and what's going on out there on the ground. The road group, like I said yesterday, they've completed the 8,000 road. They're currently on the 8093. They're sitting down here at DP 60. They're going to be bringing it down to Green Valley Meadow. And then they're going to be moving up to the 8091 and getting that done. And then they have a little bit of touch up to do on the 8,000 road. But we'll continue with the water support in there and watering those roads to keep packing that real powdery dirt that was out there so that we can try and get that real smoothed out for you. As far as the fire goes, we got an excavator in yesterday, so the excavator will be coming up and working on some rehab work on the dozer line in Alpha. And then we had a little bit of dozer line he's got to work on here in Charlie. The chipping operation is done up around the FAA tower and down along the road here. They have some chipping on the dozer line here, but that'll probably be left for the Type 3 team, so when they get ready to rehab this dozer line. A lot of the snagging is already done on the 8,000 road. They're working around the structures. They have talked with the Bear team, and they're going to be putting in some water bars and stuff behind some of the structures so that when it does rain, that water's not rushing right down into the structures in there. So they're working on that up here in Foxtrot down around the structures at this time. Any questions? Yes.
At what point, and maybe you can give an estimate on when it will be safe to open the lake back up for fishing? Any idea about that?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that yet, but I would say we're looking at possibly by Sunday, looking at that.
Okay, I just been getting a lot of calls. Alright.
Yes,
Gray line with that line.
Oh, down here?
Yeah.
This was a contingency line that they were going to use at one time. When the winds were really blowing, we fell back and was going to use this as contingency lines. So that's the road system that's out there that we were looking at. But once the winds died down, we were able to go direct on this fire. Thank you.
Next, we have our deputy IAC, Roy Hall. Nancy, you can take that. Okay,
Good morning. Lance Elmore, Assistant Commander Trainee. Kind of like Dave was saying, a lot of good work going on out there in the field. Those guys are making progress every day. Things are getting better. Just once again, Dave said 70% containment. That doesn't mean the fire's out in 70% of it. There's still going to be the smokes. There's still going to be the hot spots, and that's why we still have a presence there, and why we'll continue to have folks out there. We talked a little bit yesterday that a Type 3 organization was going to come in, and that will be on Thursday. That Type 3 organization will take over. So we're still here through then. And I'd actually like to introduce the incident commander for that Type 3 organization this morning, Leon Ben. So he'll be on Thursday. Leon will be in charge and taking care of that with all the resources. And so you guys we still plan on having the cooperators meeting. Leon and his folks will have it then. So there's still going to be a presence here and with the fire and everywhere. So just a couple minutes here for Leon.
Morning, my friends. My name is Leon Ben Jr. I'm of the people are Wash clan out of San Carlos Apache. I'm born from the Containment clan here in Navajo. My maternal grandfather's clan is the Deschine clan, and my paternal grandfather clan is the Polar Arm people. So I'm glad to be here. Been here for a couple of days already, shadowing the Type 2 team, BJ and her staff there, and I'm glad to inherit some of their folks into our Type 3 organization. We're not just going to bug out of here once the Type 2 team's done. We'll keep a transition and slowly work us down to a Type 4 hopefully, and hopefully there's no more movement on this fire. So again, I'm glad to be here and to put a hand on this fire. Thank you.
So, with that, you'll be seeing Leon and his folks around here for the meetings and stuff the next couple of days and taking over on Thursday. Anything we can, excuse me, anything we can do, in the meantime, just let us know. Any questions? Yes.
A lot of our community down in Asaayii are really concerned about damages to the water wells in the getting those repaired or whatever.
You're talking about for things that might happen after the
Yeah, there's
fire, when the
several-
rains come and
Yeah, there's
stuff?
several natural springs in the area that the community itself is kind of concerned about.
So what we have is a bear team, which is a burned area emergency rehabilitation team. And I don't know when those guys plan on coming over, and Don maybe will speak to that. But they're the ones out that are doing assessments on some of the things that Don was talking about after the fire, the monsoons come, the floods and that type of stuff. And they do the assessments on, what they feel those things should be, done to help mitigate some of those, things just like you're talking about. So those would be actually the folks that take care of that. I especially don't have the expertise for some of that, the natural resources type stuff where these folks do. Any other questions? Thank you.
How many personnel do you have right now?
Right now, we're sitting at about 400. And that'll be scaled by tomorrow. We'll be down to that about 200 and we'll be at that type 3 organization tomorrow.
And do you know what the cost is now for the fire?
I believe last night it was at 6.4 million. Any others? Thank you.
Water is the key, to life. And a couple of things that are going on we can share with you. In this Green Meadows area, it wasn't really impacted by the fire. It might be directly any of the lines that are there, but it has the possibility of being impacted by the effects, the impact of that watershed. So the bear team is meeting today for their initial meeting, and going to have some conversation about how they're going to move forward. They've already been here and walked the ground. Okay, so they have a good feel as to what kind of impact this fire has had. And they put out an initial report after probably about a week's time or so. So in about a week or so, you will see at least the initial assessment report that they come out with, and there'll be a meeting where they'll share that with you. Okay, so you get a chance to hear that. To let you know, back up here, right at this point, there's a 4,000-gallon water tank that's there. Okay, and the water line is broken back over here. So this morning at 9 o'clock, Merrill went back in there. He needs to dig up one of the water lines and repair and replace that so water can flow, and I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go to. You folks would know better than I would on that. Okay, but so that's going on this morning, and we hope by 1 o'clock this afternoon that we'll have a water supply established back over here that people can get to. If I understood him correctly, that line travels throughout this area somewhat, so that water source will be available to you. The last thing I would ask, you folks have been, you are pretty special people. Your thoughtfulness to us, has been over the top. I'd just like to ask you, how are you guys doing? I know how I was doing on Schultz Fire after working 36 days in a row. My community and the people that I live with were impacted significantly from it and are to this day. Are you folks doing okay? Are we? Okay, yeah. I learned a lot, and then over the years I've been able to go to a lot of fires, but when we had that fire in my own backyard, I evacuated my family, and now we had the flooding taking place. Yeah, I've had my appreciation has increased for how communities are impacted. So you guys take care of each other is really critical. So, any other questions? Okay, well, thank you, and we'll see you here tomorrow.